better place to record the Fast X. Yes, Mom, I know, I'm sorry. It's probably not safe, but I'm not going to look at the camera. How about that? You just get this very flattering upshot of my Hagrid beard, and yeah. So, see my face every time there's a light, so we'll see how that goes. But here's the deal. I got a lot of things on my calendar, and so very little time to motivate myself to film these in a stationary location at my house when I could be sleeping or packing for vacations and camps that I'm in all through June. People, I'm trying to get these little thoughts, these little reviews, these little tidbits and help, out there. I appreciate everyone who's watching. Again, comment what you like about these things. But this, appropriately in the car, which honestly is the driving factor here, driving, is I want to talk about Fast X for a minute. That is Fast 10. There are 10 Fast and Furious movies, people. How have we come to this? Well, I'll tell you. Vin Diesel, what a guy. He is in his own little world and nobody knows. So, I don't know, man. He is crazy. But I love it. And these movies are wildly entertaining. Here's the story structure. Fast 1 through 3. Those are about street racing. Fast 4 through 6. That trilogy is about espionage and super international spies. But cars are the weapons. Then you have 7 through 10. Maybe 7. 7's kind of a weird bridge where they transition from espionage to what then becomes superheroes. They're all superheroes. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. F9, it was not great. It was very boring. It felt like we lost our way. 8 was kind of the tipping in that direction, and I don't know. It lost me. It was like I was on one of those amusement park rides where people black out and pass out, etc., etc. Well, what happened to me was that movie was so long and just action city and everything was too over serious. I basically totally numbed out. I was just staring and not receiving anything in my eyes. And then I came back for the last 20 minutes of it and thought it was good. But you know what? James Gunn proved to me that John Cena is a good actor. Based off the Peacemaker series, maybe even a low-tier great actor. If given the right script, and F9 was not it for him. Let's transition. Enough about the past. Fast X. John Cena was allowed to be John Cena again, and he was great. Loved it. Loved him in this movie. He was a totally different person. He was part of the family. He was funny. It was great. Some of the coolest scenes with him in it. Speaking of a vibe change, you can definitely tell maybe at the beginning of this movie that, there's some old bones from Justin Lin, who directed most of these movies, and he did a great job. But clearly something split, and I think the movie changed for the better because he was kind of getting in a drudge with 7, 8, and 9. So I'm glad Fast 10 is directed by someone else, and hope that part 2, maybe 3, are coming out. That for this last trilogy, hopefully. So it was just wildly entertaining. I honestly, I haven't been this entertained by a Fast movie since maybe Fast 5 or 6. Yeah, so props to the cast for kind of, doing well. I'll tell you the biggest contributor was Jason Momoa's Dante. Wow. Let me tell you, and I'm being serious when I say this. Heath Ledger's, follow me, stay with me. Heath Ledger's Joker performance was truthfully one of the greatest of all time. Loved it. No one in my mind has ever been more chaotic and in such a beautifully villainous way until now. That is the first person that I think of to compare this villain of this Fast and Furious movie with. And so, yeah, I get it. It's weird. It's a weird connection. But that's who I thought of. And there's a scene that you'll know once you see it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the scene for sure. Sorry. And yeah, so basically Vin Diesel's Batman. And I'm going to make a Letterboxd movies that, little list, basically saying, comparing Vin Diesel to Batman with his tricked out black muscle car going against a maniacal, crazy villain who doesn't want to kill him, but wants to see him suffer together. I mean, I haven't made a more direct Batman and Joker connection since one of the final episodes of The Following with Kevin Bacon, a underrated and under-advertised show that will definitely get lost in the wind. Yeah, so way to go, Jason Momoa. I don't know if I knew you had it in you, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you were let off leash and able to do this movie. So I've got this weird, we're switching to superheroes, and now it's Fast X getting a Batman versus Joker vibe for one of their storylines. There's many intertwining storylines, which gets me to the next thing. Oh my gosh. This was like the Fellowship of the Ring. Oh my gosh, I can't even if this truly is a trilogy, then they did a good job because it took the Lord of the Rings formula. The family that we've been following, #FoundFamily, we've been following for the last 9 movies is split up, and they're all on three different storylines. What other movie with such grandiose, epic proportions other than Lord of the Rings? And so, you've got the Frodo and Sam track, the Gimli, Aragorn, and Legolas track, and then the Merry and Pippin track. And now in this movie, you've got what's her name? Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez track as one thing, with Brie Larson kind of tagging in there. And then you had the Vin Diesel by himself track, kind of the Frodo Sam track. And then you've got Tyrese and the girl from Game of Thrones, and the Tyrese, Ludacris, Han, everyone else route. Jason Statham getting in there somehow. Yeah. So is Lord of the Rings and Batman? I mean, only these movies. And I need to understand, these movies they break the scale. They do not get reviewed the same as other movies. Like Marvel movies can be kind of be viewed in the same general category for me as, like, you know, I don't have a good example. They can be compared in the same line as Citizen Kane and Schindler's List. But Fast and Furious broke the mold a long time ago. And yeah, so I love these movies pretty unironically, but they are indeed bad movies. The narrative is all over the place. It's just a string of people popping up, music videos, fight scenes, action scenes, car scenes. It's great. I mean, truly one of the, you know, my favorite viewings this year as far as just theater. What's worth it in the theater, you know? It takes it down a notch when you watch it at home, but I mean, I will watch this movie again. Fast X is probably the first Fast movie that I'm like, since Fast 5, that I'm like, I wanted to watch it again after I left the theater. Spoiler territory. Gonna throw up the spoiler sign. Spoiler territory. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel have squashed their beef, their childish, you know, middle school beef, and he is back in an end credit scene, and boy howdy does that make me so happy, because he needs to be in these movies. They are so good. His quips and banter with Jason Statham is so great, and he's just perfect for these movies, and I can't wait to see him go toe-to-toe with Jason Momoa. Bam! So good. There is rumor of him having his own movie to catch us up from why he's been gone from Fast, whenever the last time he was in it, which was a few movies ago. Yeah, not a direct sequel of Hobbs and Shaw by any means, but he's gonna have his own solo movie, I think. So I have no idea what's happening. But the studio is making bank, and people are still seeing these movies. Yeah, can you believe that we're getting a Lord of the Rings, Batman, Joker inside of a car music video movie? Because that's what these last 3 to 4 movies are gonna be. Anyways, just along for the ride. I hope you enjoyed me just talking about it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to nitpick. They made a lot of changes that I liked from F9, and yeah, there's a few John Wickian things, like anyways, there's a few things here or there that I could be upset about, but who cares, because it was a blast. So see this movie in theaters if you want. Hopefully you're finding the movie you want to see in theaters this summer. More coming at you this week.